huge criminal enterprise stretching from Atlanta to Detroit and several other states. The story of Big Meech, who headed up the Black Mafia Family, is also the source of a popular TV show that has been filmed right here in Atlanta. And this week, after serving nearly 20 years in prison for racketeering, drug dealing, and running a criminal enterprise, he is out of prison. 11 to Life's Erica Murphy has more on his release and his sordid past.
Demetrius Flannery and his brother Terry ran one of the country's largest drug operations during the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. The pair had hundreds of employees, generated hundreds of millions of dollars, and even had a successful record label and magazine. But in 2006, the brothers were indicted in a federal RICO case originating out of Georgia.
BMF was the first group that was accused of being both a criminal organization and a record label.
Attorney Josh Schiffer says Demetrius, also known as Big Meech, is highly regarded because he never took a deal or snitched on his co-conspirators.
And he went down. And when he went down, he and his brother were sentenced to 30 years in prison.
In 2020, Terry Flannery was released, and just this week, Big Meech was released from prison. He will serve the remainder of his sentence at a halfway house in Miami. Reporting from Atlanta, Erica.
Big Meech, one of the most iconic names in the hip-hop in the streets. Founder of the infamous Black Mafia Family, his name is linked with money, power, and respect. But after serving nearly 2 decades behind bars, Meech's early release has sparked major controversy, allegations of cooperation with the feds, and raised questions that need to be answered. Is there more to the story that meets the eye? What's good, y'all? It's your boy Golden, the slogan, and this is Duck No Wreck Road Media. Welcome back to the Slogan Report, where we break down the truth behind the headlines. Today, we dive in deep into the real reason why Demetrius Big Meech Flannery, co-founder of BMF, was granted early release after serving nearly 20 years in prison. From accusations of third-party cooperation to questioning about the legacy of BMF, this is the story the streets demanding an explanation. So let's get into it, beloved. The Black Mafia Family, or BMF, was a criminal organization that took over the streets in the early 2000s. At the height of their reign, Big Meech and his brother Southwest T were allegedly moving hundreds of kilos of cocaine across the U.S. that made headlines. They were untouchable, or so it seems. With the empire of over 500 members, operations in 12 major cities, and an estimate of $270 million in profit from their drug empire, BMF wasn't just a drug syndicate, it was a movement influencing everything from the street fashion to rap music. Celebrities like Young Jeezy were closely tied to the organization, giving BMF a glamorous appeal to the public eye. Fast forward today, and the legacy of BMF has entered a new chapter with Starz hit series BMF, produced by 50 Cent and starring none other than Lil Meech, Big Meech's son, portraying his father. The show brought renewed attention to BMF, but it's not without controversy. In 2020, it was announced that Big Meech's sentence would be reduced to 3 years. In 2023, he was granted early release under the federal law change for non-violent offenders. But recently, rumors have surfaced suggested that his early release might have not just been about changing the law. Instead, there's chatter about third-party cooperation. Now, what does that mean? According to some sources, Big Meech's power of attorney, Tammy Coens, who later testified being a government informant, might have played a crucial role in this. In 2011, allegations surfaced that Tammy was working with the government and had led many questions whether Big Meech had involvement in cooperation to secure his early release. It was a sensitive subject, one that has Meech's loyal supporters in the streets asking, did Meech snitch? The term third-party cooperation refers to someone assisting the government indirectly, meaning they might not have cooperated directly, but benefited from someone else's cooperation. In this case, that someone could be Tammy Coens. There are rumors that her testimony and cooperation helped secure Meech's reduced sentence. To add more fuel to the fire, Meech's former associate Bleu DaVinci and Dion Gatling have spoken publicly about these allegations. Cuffy, a longtime friend of Big Meech, claims that Meech and Tammy Coens conspired to set him up, leading to Cuffy's incarceration, and in turn, Meech's early release. In an interview with Cam Capone,
how did Meech have information on you and give it to Tammy, and how did all that come together where they were able to, you know, put all that together?
How did Meech have information on you and give it to Tammy so you could get caught up in it? How did that happen? So that means you got to go back to the movie.
Okay, so well, let me take them back. So me and Tammy were working on the BMF movie. I originally had the script and paid for the script for the BMF movie, not the show that 50's doing on Starz. But I originally paid for the script for the BMF movie, so we were shopping the movie.
So Tammy was involved at that time, which is CS1. So
Tammy Coens, CS1, had all Meech's life rights.
Right. And what year was that?
This all the way back in 2010.
Okay. So
We
this,
proved that there was a legitimate business.
right.
Legal business.
Right.
So, well, so let's take it back. The original target was the guy by the name of Fidel Suarez. That was a Mexican cartel member out of California. He was the initial target.
Right. Fidel Suarez was the initial target
That's
out
why
of
his
Cali.
name is in the paperwork.
Right. That's
Tammy was trying to get Suarez.
Cuff talked about how he once purchased the rights to the BMF story for $250,000, hoping to take it to the big screen, but was blocked when Meech allegedly made moves behind his back. Cuffy's daughter, Tammy Gatling, has also spoke out.
I'm Tammy Gatling. I'm making this recording in regards to my dad. He's Dion Gatling. Most people know him as Cuffy. But I wanted to make this recording so I can shed light on some facts. My dad was set up by one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Flannery, also known as Big Meech. My dad and Meech have been friends for 30 years plus. I've known Meech my whole life. I look at him like an uncle. Like, this situation has been completely devastating on so many different levels, and there's still so many questions that aren't answered. At this point, I can only shed light on what I know for sure to be facts, and hopefully one day I will have the complete truth. But in 2011, around that time, Meech reached out to my dad in regards to creating a BMF movie. So Meech hooked my dad up with a woman named Tammy Coens. At the time, Tammy was Meech's power of attorney. Also, she owned the life rights. So my dad was working with Meech, Tammy, T, basically trying to work on a movie. Finally arrested my dad and we received the discovery. He knew exactly who CS1 was, and he told me and my mom that it was Tammy Coens. At that time, we really did not want to believe. We wanted to give Meech the benefit of the doubt. It was really, really hard to believe that Meech would set my dad up. It was almost unbelievable. So we were able to like reach out, get a message to Meech, and basically let him know that Tammy was an informant. We later received a message from him saying that it had to be a misunderstanding. Just call her, she'll straighten this out, so on, so on. And at this time, my dad was like, I'm not dumb, I'm not about to call.
Claiming that Big Meech and Tammy Coens set up her father in exchange for a lighter sentence. She alleges that her father was used as a pawn in the grand scheme of things. And now with Meech's early release, those accusations are coming to the surface. Then there's the commentary from the industry figures like Wack 100, who has called on Big Meech to clear up things.
His Big Meech is out.
How you feel about that?
I don't feel no kind of way about it.
I think it's dope.
I think he got some questions you need to answer though. Because we got the guy Cuffy in there. No, we got the guy Cuffy. People gonna ask these questions. Because he's on Cam Capone on Bleu DaVinci's phone saying the story. So Cuffy's still in there. And Cuffy, if y'all didn't know, he had the rights first. He gave him the rights.
I mean, because on your street shit, if somebody just did 20, regardless of what they might have said during the indictment and all that, you still went and sat down. That's a life sentence.
No, but see, if you did 20, and because you did something you weren't supposed to do by street code, which said you was probably supposed to do 40, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to look at it like that. So we got to answer those questions because Cuffy's a real guy, right? He had the rights first. And then when all that happened, the lady that crossed him up in the PMF.
Like his story, essentially.
Cuffy had, that was his man.
Right.
His man, and then the thing happened with the chick in the middle, and what they saying happened, how it happened with the chick and the lineup and all this, right?
Well, you're talking about the actual company, like the entity, BMF, or the story?
No, it's a guy named Cuffy.
Okay.
Right, he had the rights first.
Okay.
Now, his early release now is based on, he got a time cut based upon the new law.
Right.
I got that paperwork.
But that's what I'm saying.
He got out right now, but
so it's not for saying nothing, it's like the system.
But they're questioning it for whatever reason.
But probably about 2017, 18, you were hearing Meech coming home early. That was when all that was going on. So the attempt was made, and what they say happened, right? with the third party cooperation for him. They got the document in the paperwork with the Tammy chick where she's saying that she was third party cooperating to get him a time cut, but she ended up having sex with the F-Fed dude,
so that's,
which got Cuffy convicted, but then they took the time cut off your table.
I mean, something like that. I don't think I throw everything out.
That's out. That's out.
It was a whole lot of work. So you know when they're saying she's working for you to line him up to get the time cut, and this is your man.
Why do you know all this, Wack?
He's been vocal on social media saying that the streets deserve to know the truth about these third-party cooperation claims. Wack 100 even suggests that Meech's silence on the issue could damage the BMF brand. So what does this mean for Big Meech's legacy? Could these rumors taint the BMF name and everything it stands for? BMF has always been seen as a larger-than-life empire built on loyalty, power, and brotherhood. If these allegations are true and cooperation with the government was involved, it could change the way the streets view Big Meech and BMF forever. Then there's the million-dollar question. How would this affect the future of the BMF brand? With the success of the BMF series on Starz and the millions being made off of the betrayal of their empire, any credibility issues could ripple through the franchise. We've already seen how 50 Cent BMF series is closely tied to Big Meech's image. If these allegations gain traction, will the fans and more importantly the streets turn it back on BMF? Lil Meech has worked hard to carry his father's legacy in the entertainment world, but with all these allegations, it could put everything in jeopardy. Will people continue to support a brand that might have roots in cooperation with the government, or will the flashy lifestyle and larger than life image of BMF remain untouchable? Wack 100 has been one of the loudest voices in this debate, saying Big Meech need to clear this up. According to Wack 100, Meech's silence is defeating and causing people to doubt his loyalty to the street code. In a world where reputation means everything, Meech can't afford to let these rumors go unanswered. So here's where we stand. Big Meech's early release has sparked rumors and divided opinions. The allegations of third-party cooperation through his power of attorney Tammy Coens left some of his closest allies questioning his loyalty. Former associates like Cuffy and Bleu DaVinci has gone on record to express their doubts, and industry figures like Wack 100 are demanding answers. As the streets continue to buzz with speculation, the questions remains: will Big Meech come forward to clear his name? And if he does, will the BMF brand survive the scrutiny? One thing is for sure, this story is far from over, beloved. Only time will tell if this new chapter in the BMF saga will be one of redemption or one of ruin. But as we always say, we'll be here to break down the truth behind the headlines. This is your host, Golden Slogan, and this is the Slogan Report. Make sure you stay locked in, make sure you stay focused, and more importantly, make sure you stay safe. Comment on how you feel about the situation below. It's your boy.